October 13th of 2023 may be the release date for the Doctor Who Universes Beyond product. But before players get too excited and gung-ho about buying this product, there's things you need to know. And they do start with the print run for this product. Let's face it, there's the truth, and then there's what they're going to tell you. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. Now, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on your notification bells as I upload content every single day of the week. And of course, as we get closer to the 19,000 subscriber mark, we're only 170 subs away. When we get to 19,000, there will be a video put out. That video will say 20K party or 20K party rules. I don't know, I haven't put the thing together. But when we get there, that video will come up. As soon as we hit around 19,000, you're going to see it pop over. And it'll give you all the rules for the 20K party to help you prepare for the fun we're going to have. Now, this party is for anyone who's a viewer of this channel, stops in, but there will be two different pricing structures you'll see, one for patrons and YouTube membership members, as well as a pricing for viewers. Keep all this in mind when it comes up, okay? Make sure you're paying attention to it. Looking forward to sharing this with everyone as we finally get close to that 20K mark. It's amazing. Now, let's get down to business. Let's talk about what's going on with Doctor Who, but also upcoming products. Most of you know I focus on a financial slant on almost every video I do, letting you guys know the financial impacts, the implications of what Wizards of the Coast is doing. Most times, it is not going to be a smash on the products because the products are good. Doctor Who is no different. Doctor Who is going to be a well put together product from Universes Beyond that's going to have cards that players want to play with. It's going to have a great fan base built in for Doctor Who memorabilia collectors who will want to buy these cards. Now, I've been seeing a lot of comments and concern about the print run. Now, when we're talking about allocation versus reduced print runs, they are entirely different conversations. Allocation numbers are decided to a store based on what they order and based on what the distributor gets. The distributor gets 1,000 boxes and they divide that up among all their stores, and sometimes stores get hit and get lower allocation, especially if a store is lower on the totem pole. They order 10 boxes, they only get 5. They order 50, but they only get 5. No matter what number they order, they get 5. That's what's allocated for a store that size based on wherever they are on the totem pole. Reduced production, where Wizards scales back production and actually prints less. The last time I really heard about that happening was things like Battle for Zendikar, the Fat Packs, as well as something like Dominaria 2018, where they turned off the tap about 6 months to 8 months early. Players expected another wave of the product to come out. It didn't happen. Boxes kind of went up in price pretty quickly. And that's great for people who are hoarding those boxes and holding them, okay? But it's not great for the playing side of things. So Wizards wants as much money as they can get. And in the case of a product line like Doctor Who, which is Universes Beyond, and what I want to say to that is really like Universes Beyond means they paid for the IP. And when a company pays for the IP, like in the case of Lord of the Rings, Warhammer 40K, understanding they paid top dollar to borrow those licenses, they are going to print as much as humanly possible that they think they can move in anywhere from 24 months to 48 months. That's what they're going to do. They're going to store it in their warehouses, they're going to put it on the books, and they're going to get out as much as they can. But that doesn't mean that they're going to release allocation numbers and just let stores have as much as they want. They want the FOMO, they want the hype. They want the hype train on a very straight, very controlled path. So if they cut down the allocation numbers of most of these stores and say to the distributor, you ordered 5,000 boxes from all your stores, we're only giving you 1,000. Stores find out they're getting half the number, a quarter of the number they want. Then they tell their players start freaking out. And now everyone's in this mad rush to buy Doctor Who. Now, this can be fueled like jet fuel if you give Doctor Who even more powerful cards. Right now, we've seen a few of them. It gets people kind of salivating for players who are looking forward to these things. I myself looking forward to timey-wimey and want to see what they're going to do with Suspend and if it's going to do something to break Mox Tantalite. I'm still excited to see what's going to happen there. But in terms of adding fuel to the fire, if you give better cards inside that set and it's unannounced and people didn't expect it, all of a sudden we have a brutal situation where stores jack up the prices. It fuels more people wanting to buy it, and then Wizards releases the tap a little bit and more product comes down to meet the demand. Now players are buying it, but it's still kind of coming out slow, and that's how they get you. This is the cycle of what Wizards of the Coast likes to do with product lines like this. And remember, as much as we'd all like to see them reduce production numbers and reduce print run size, it is not something they're going to do lightly, and this gargantuan company cannot do it quickly. And they would never choose to do it in a Doctor Who type situation, Warhammer 40k, or Lord of the Rings, because they paid for the IP. And whenever a company is paying for an IP, paying for the card concept design creation, they're paying for the shipping, paying for the printing, paying for the employees, they want to get their maximum value out. Totally understandable. So this is not going to be the product that they are going to lower print runs on. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be a maximum print run on this thing, which is why it's going to go on sale. Just like we talked about with Warhammer 40k, that's why. Yes, they will overproduce it. They will get as much as they can. And if they do it well, players will still be buying this thing for years to come, and it won't be a big deal. But that'll be determined later. That hasn't even happened yet. Until we see everything and you get that initial couple of weekends in there to see how things are going and see how much FOMO was built up by the rest of the cards, that's when you get a better understanding. But the real focal point should be what happens going forward. Doctor Who is a moment in time. Like any IP they do, it has a flash in the pan effect. Players are very either happy or not happy depending on the product line, and things move on. Money always moves on. But let's talk about when they do lower production, because they will. It is on the way. It just takes them time to turn the ship around. How much do you think they're going to lower by? Because most players think it's going to be some massive print run reduction. All the players who tell you they're going to do massive print run reductions, those are players who've got they got something to gain. Okay? Those are the players who are hoarding boxes. They're the speculator investor types who want to capitalize on a lower print run. Wizards has to find the middle ground between those people, because they want to sell boxes, but also to the players who need value and need to have access to the cards. They are trying to strike that fine line balance between all these different parties and different groups that are all in this catch basin of different needs and desires. So yes, I do think they will lower production very soon. Probably somewhere in mid-2024. We'll probably see a lowering, but you won't even notice it. You won't notice it. Because players have scaled back so much and stores have scaled back, yes, it'll be lower at distribution level, but I still think it's going to be sitting around. And then Wizards, 6 to 12 months later, they'll take a look at things. They'll take the magnifying glass and zoom in and say, what's going on? Then they'll lower it another 10%. They're not going to do anything drastic right away. They are going to slowly try to find the soft bottom for these cards, and then they'll tweak it a bit. They do want to protect their market. They do want to protect some of the value in these cards, or there's no point for the company to keep making them. So they are going to work diligently to protect their bottom line while minimizing the damage to the brand and the game, as far as they're concerned anyway. This is not going to be an easy fix for them. They're used to having a lot more cash flow coming from Magic, and they'll probably branch out with more gimmicks like Secret Lair stuff that we've been seeing. They'll branch that more and more to the individual card sale market like we've been talking about. So scaling back and lowering production and allocation numbers, completely different. We are going to see some of these things happen a little bit quicker than others. The allocation thing is a trick they do all the time, but you might see it being used more often right now. And that will be especially true for licensed IP products. They are going to print a ton of it. They will keep tight allocation numbers and drip it out as the FOMO and hype continue for the product lines. And then near the end, whatever's left, that would be dumped out or at reduced costs on things like Amazon or local LGS distribution, whatever they decide to do. But they will try to control the narrative of how those products are done. The reduced print runs, that will happen more likely on the commander decks they put in every deck series, because they sell but they don't sell as well. You're going to see reduced numbers on set and draft boxes, but not to a massive extent. They're going to slowly find that soft bottom. Expect like 5, 10, 12% reduced each year until they find out where the market is kind of balancing out and how much we can now absorb in the new changing environment. It's a giant gargantuan ship that has no intention of turning unless it has to. Just enough to avoid the iceberg, and a direct collision is all they're aiming for. Understanding that and understanding the company really lets you know that when it comes to these kind of products, no matter what you hear, they are not lowering or reducing print runs on IP licensed products. It's just not going to happen because they paid a lot of money to get them in the door and to produce the cards, and usually under like all kinds of scrutiny, just like with most toys and stuff that are adapted for cartoons, and you have to meet certain dimensions, certain criteria, like they did with Lord of the Rings. Expect more of that. Like One Piece. I remember I'm watching that. You guys aren't. Who's here at the end of the video? I'm watching One Piece, like some people suggested. Totally awesome show so far. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel today. I'd love to know everyone's opinions here in the comments section. What do you think's going on out there? Or what are you hearing? Are you getting lower allocation numbers from your local store? Have they told you it's kind of tighter and harder to get? I'd love to hear what everyone has to say. Thanks again for hanging out. And don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic members I have supporting my channel. The amazing patrons you see flying across the screen right now are the supporters of this channel day in, day out, making sure this content happens. Thanks again. I am definitely supposed to be here today. We're back in action. Thanks again for hanging out here at the Ramble Jamble, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where we just grab Deadpool's head. And by the way, anyone who's been on my channel a long time, I still have those things in there, man. Remember those? Remember that time we used to draw these out of a head? Yeah, you guys remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you got to kick back a little bit. I know I wasn't as active in the comment sections. I did what I could in the off time I had when the family was doing water park stuff. We had a blast. It's great to be back, though. I missed everyone. Looking forward to seeing the comments in the comment section. So yeah, production numbers, I wouldn't worry about them. Wizards ain't that quick. The stuff I'm hearing, no. And the insider information, which I have no access to, it takes longer than that, so don't expect any changes yet. Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out. I'll be back. Wait, I am back. I am back. I'll be back. Is that Arnold? Yeah, that's Arnold. That's Terminator? Yeah, that's right. Of course, I know. I'm just joking. Don't forget to put a boomstick in the comments section. Hope you guys had an awesome day. And yeah, the voice is a little hoarse. Kind of crazy.